Now, this is the end of the show, but I promised I wanted to talk a little bit quickly about some stuff happening with the show and what I have planned for the next episode. And this will be quick. So basically for episode 125, which is slated for next Wednesday at the regular time, and, just want to be clear, show's not stopping. It's the same time as usual. And this is actually exciting news. This is the show growing. And this is kind of what I'm talking about, is like, you're faced with decisions of like, oh, do I slow it down? But this show honestly fills my battery. Even if it does take effort and time, doing the show fills my battery up because people enjoy it. I get feedback. It brings value. It helps people. If I'm ever in a meeting with people, somebody will say like, hey, I've been watching the show, and it fills my battery up. And so I really think about that, and I'm like, well, what's the work that I do in this ecosystem that not only brings value, but that fills my battery up? And what can I do to do more of that instead of doing less? And so that's what this is all about, is the show is going to be more. And the change that's coming up on the next episode honestly is going to be very weird and probably not be on Twitter Spaces. And I've promised before, I'm not eliminating Twitter Spaces from the show, but I have to start doing a couple experiments to grow the show. And the next episode of the Hashgraph Enthusiasts show, episode 125, what I'm planning is for it to be the first, video live stream of the show. So what people watch on YouTube and all those types of things after the show, after the live broadcast is done, that's what you'll be watching live. As I'm here on this, crappy little camera on Twitter Spaces, instead you'll be watching it on X Live with my full computer screen, everything like that. And guests will not just be on audio, you'll be able to see them. And so I think that that's going to be a big change to the show, and it's going to take time to do the change. So I really want, I think that I wouldn't be able to do this again, like without supporters of the show sending HBAR to a wallet. I'm going to be using that HBAR to, purchase some new equipment and services that I need to execute on this going forward. I think it's going to be great. I've been doing some tests. My first test of this was the HBAR Foundry show that I did, where I had great guests talking about music in the Hedera ecosystem, music NFTs, HIP 920. And we did a great panel with guests on video and everything like that. It was a good experience for the guests. It worked well. It was great quality. There were no issues. And so that was my test, and it worked well. That was my proof of concept. And so that's what we're going to be moving forward with. So the next episode 125 of Hashgraph Enthusiasts, will not be on Twitter Spaces. And again, that's not to say Twitter Spaces is going away. It's just for the next episode. And why the next episode is going to be a little wacky is I'm just basically going to have the theme of the show be anybody call in. Anybody jump on the show. I want to try it out. So when we're doing the live stream of the show and I got my multiple cameras and my computer screen and all that kind of stuff, I'm going to make it very easy for anybody to click a link and whatever device they're on, get put into the green room for the show with the ability to have their audio and camera and bring them up and just do some tests. And so the next episode of the show is just almost going to be like a test episode. It's going to be, we'll probably talk about some news, but mostly I want to just kind of take the scenic route, right? I want to get off the highway. I want all of us to kind of just take the exit. Let's drive down the coast for a bit. Let's have some fun. Let's try out the new toys for the show and see how they work. And so that's going to be episode 125. Episode 125 is just going to be a free-for-all. If anybody who wants to can jump on and chat about Hedera, HBAR, all the stuff happening, and the show, or whatever we want to do. I want to try out some stuff. And that's what the next episode's going to be. And again, not to say that Twitter Spaces is going away, but next episode, live YouTube, live X video, maybe live LinkedIn. I don't know. Also too, isn't it weird that like it feels like the real alpha for the Hedera ecosystem is on LinkedIn? What's that about?